Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today this is game week 8 of the Premier League predictions. The long and boring international break is over, and yeah, don't worry lads, we got another international break in about 4 weeks, so yeah, that's just amazing. But yeah, anyway, we've got a few weeks of Premier League football to enjoy, so yeah, let's get into game week 8 of the Premier League predictions. Alright then, so let's get into this game week predictions, and let's start off with Watford versus Liverpool. And obviously, looking at Watford, obviously Xisco Munoz got sacked. By the way, that is an absolute joke by Watford. I generally thought he could have kept them up. And I'm sorry, Watford, you're going down now. You're going down. And obviously, you could say that, well, what about... I know they have got in Claudio Ranieri. Obviously, he won Leicester the title. But, look what he did with Fulham. He did absolutely nothing. He never improved them. Then he got sacked. But we'll have to see what he does with Watford. But obviously, Watford last time out, they lost the Leeds. It was unlucky, you could say. But yeah, Watford are playing Liverpool. And if you're a Watford fan, you're probably feeling very nervous going into this game, because Liverpool, obviously they drew 2-2 with Manchester City last time out, and I think the Liverpool fans will be feeling very confident going into this game. I don't really need to say much. I'm just going to get into it. Watford 0, Liverpool 3. I think it's going to be a hat-trick for Mo Salah. 3-0 to Liverpool. Alright then, now we move on to Aston Villa against Wolves, and this is going to be quite a decent game. It's a Midlands derby at Villa Park, and I think that will be one thing that Wolves fans will not be happy about, because I think going to Villa Park is a very difficult place to go. Obviously, for even the big teams like Spurs, United, City, like even Liverpool went there last season and they lost 7-2. Villa are actually quite good at home. I think their home form is like either 7th or 8th in the league, so it's actually quite decent. But Wolves, their away form is 8th, so Wolves' away form is actually quite decent. So this is going to be quite a decent game to watch, to be fair. Obviously, I'm only going to watch half time because I'm going out at about 4ish. So yeah, obviously I'll only be able to watch the first half, but I'll probably get updates from it anyway. But yeah, it will be a good game. Villa are a good team. So are Wolves, obviously. I think Leon Bailey is back, which is a massive boost for Villa. And Wolves, I don't think I've no Trincao because he's got coronavirus. So that's not good. But I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it'll be very end-to-end. It'll be close. But I think Villa are going to nick this one. Aston Villa 2, Wolves 1. 2-1 to Aston Villa. Alright then, now we move on to Leicester City against Manchester United. And where do we start with Leicester? They have been absolutely appalling recently. They have been appalling. And they were 2-0 up. 2-0 up against Crystal Palace, and they've still bottled it and drew 2-2. What has happened to Leicester in these last 3 games? 2-2 with Palace, 1-0 to Legia Warsaw, who are one place outside the relegation zone in the Polish league. And obviously they drew 2-2 to Burnley. To Burnley. It has been a disaster. An absolute disaster for Leicester. And Man United, obviously, I can't even remember their last game. I don't know, but I think United are going to win this game. I think they're going to walk through Leicester. I'm sorry. Leicester 0, United 2. I think 2 goals from Ronaldo. 2-0 to United. Alright then, now let's move on to Manchester City against Burnley. Now Burnley, last time out, a 0-0 draw with Norwich. Is it a good result, drawing to Norwich? I don't know, probably not if you're a Burnley fan, but City, they always smash Burnley. Obviously, looking at City, the last few times they've actually played, City have played Burnley, it's been 2-0 to City, 5-0 to City, 3-0 to City, 5-0 to City, 4-1 to City. They just love to score goals against Burnley. And the last 2 times this fixture has been played at the Etihad, Manchester City 5, Burnley 0. And guess what? I think it's going to be a third 5-0 win against Burnley in a row at the Etihad. Man City 5, Burnley 0. 5-0 to the champions. Alright then, let's now move on to Norwich City as they take on Brighton at Carrow Road. And obviously Norwich picking up their first point of the season, a 0-0 draw away at Burnley. And obviously Norwich, will they be happy with a point against Burnley? I don't know, but it is going to be quite difficult against Brighton, as Brighton are sitting in 6th place in the Premier League table on 14 points. They're only 2 points behind Chelsea, and that is very impressive. Brighton have started the season very well. Brighton, their last game was a 0-0 draw against Arsenal, and what I was hearing, Arsenal were very bad, and Brighton could have easily won that like 3-0. Because they were absolutely brilliant against Arsenal. They had so many opportunities, but they couldn't put their chances in the back of the net. And obviously, big up to Ramsdale. He's a very good goalkeeper, by the way. But Brighton, they've been absolutely superb recently, and obviously they haven't. The last time they lost was to Everton. Ever since then, they've win, draw. They've been really good. Obviously, that one of those wins is including a Carabao Cup 2-0 win against Championship side Swansea. And I think this is going to be a comfortable win for Brighton. Norwich City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. 2-0 to the Seagulls. Alright then, now we move on to Southampton against Leeds. And obviously, this is going to be quite a decent game. Obviously, Southampton, their last time out, they lost 3-1 to Chelsea. Last time out for Leeds, they won their first game of the season, a 1-0 win over Watford. And obviously, it is going to be quite a decent game, to be fair. Obviously, James Ward-Prowse scoring for England in World Cup qualifying against Andorra. So obviously, I think the Saints fans will be happy with that. But this is going to be quite a decent game, because looking at the table, this is going to be very close, because Southampton are 17th, Leeds are 16th. Only 2 points separate these two sides. This is going to be a very close game. There's going to be chances. And it is going to be a good game, to be honest. There will be chances, but I think it's going to be a draw. I don't think anyone will win. I'm going to sit on the fence and go with a draw. Southampton 1, Leeds United 1. 1-1. Alright, then now we move on to the big game of the weekend, and it is Brentford against Chelsea. Now, this is going to be a brilliant game to watch, but I'm so gutted because I can't watch the game. I am absolutely gutted because this is going to be a brilliant game. Chelsea, I know they're probably going to batter, but will they batter Brentford though? Because Brentford scored in the 94th minute to beat West Ham, who are playing in the UEFA Europa League. And Brentford, they seem like they've already played in this division before. This is the first time ever in the club's history that Brentford have played in the Premier League. Have these two actually ever played each other before? Yeah, they have. And these Chelsea and Brentford have played each other 3 times. The last time this fixture was played at Brentford, it was a draw. It was Brentford 2, Chelsea 2 in the FA Cup. Oscar and Fernando Torres scoring. And Harry Forster and Marcelo Trotter scoring for Brentford, and that game was obviously at the old Griffin Park, at Griffin Park, and obviously that game ended 2-2. But obviously the other 2 meetings was obviously both of those. The other 2 meetings, 17th of February 2013, it was 4-0 to Chelsea against Brentford in the FA Cup. And in 2017, which was the most recent fixture, it was 4-0 to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But the last time this fixture was played at Brentford, it was 2-2. So will Brentford feel a bit confident going into this game? Obviously, both players are missing a lot of... both teams are missing players. Chelsea are missing Rudiger, Pulisic, Kante, James, Lukaku. Brentford are missing De Silva, Ayer, Baptiste, Janelt. this is going to be a good game to watch. And could Brentford actually beat Chelsea, who are the European champions? And I will be, if I was a Brentford fan, a point against Chelsea will probably seem like a win. A point against Chelsea will probably seem like a win for Brentford, because that's massive for them. But this is going to be very close. Chelsea missing players, so are Brentford. I'm going to go Brentford 1, Chelsea 2. But this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game to watch. 2-1 to Chelsea. Alright then, let's now move on to Everton against West Ham, the first game on Sunday. Now, I don't know why this is a 2 o'clock kickoff, to be honest, but it's going to be a good game. Obviously, Everton, West Ham, two good sides. West Ham bottling it in the 94th minute to Brentford, and obviously that is not good enough for them. Obviously, Everton, last time out, Everton, they drew 1-1 with Manchester United thanks to a by Andros Townsend, and obviously that was a very good result for Everton, so they should feel very confident coming into this game against West Ham United. West Ham United losing 2-1 to Brentford, and again, I just can't see any team winning. I can't see a team winning this game. It's going to be close. It's going to be a draw for me. 1-1. Okay, let's now move on to Newcastle against Tottenham, and yeah, obviously Newcastle, this is the first game under the new ownership. This is going to be the Saudis' first game for Newcastle, and they're playing Spurs. And to be honest, am I nervous? Not really, because obviously, you know, they have to wait till January, and we're in October now, so they have to wait a few months to sign some players. But I think obviously Newcastle, they did lose to Wolves last time out. Obviously, I think the new owners, obviously they'll be watching Steve Bruce. What's his tactics going to be? There's going to be a lot of pressure on Steve Bruce, the Newcastle United manager, because obviously he could potentially get sacked, and it possibly could be Antonio Conte who could come in, or even a different person, even Gerrard, even it would have been Brendan Rodgers, but I think Rodgers said no, as I said earlier. But it is going to be a good game, to be honest. Newcastle, the owners obviously want to see a good performance, the fans want to see a good performance. But I think looking at us, we got back to winning ways against Villa. We had to win that game, and we did. Again, I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be 2-1 to Tottenham. Newcastle 1, Spurs 2. 2-1 to Spurs. Alright, then now we move on to Arsenal against Crystal Palace, which is the last game. And obviously this is the London derby. Obviously Arsenal, they've got... How did Arteta win Manager of the Month? Okay, they won games, but he didn't really do much, did he? But yeah, I think that's a joke by the Premier League. But I'm not being biased. But yeah, obviously Crystal Palace, they've actually been Palace have been doing very well recently. They drew to Brighton and they drew to Leicester. That is two very good results. If you're a Crystal Palace fan, you should be very happy with that. And Palace, obviously Patrick Vieira is going up against his old team, Arsenal. And what will the reaction be? I don't know. Are the Arsenal fans going to respect him? Are they going to boo him? Who knows? But I don't think they'll boo him because it's only Palace. But yeah, but I think it will be a close game. I could see Palace even getting a draw here. I think a draw against Arsenal for Palace is quite good for them. Obviously, they beat Tottenham 3-0. Can they beat Arsenal? Who knows? But I think Arsenal are going to win this game. It's going to be close. It's going to be Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 1. 2-1 to Arsenal. So yeah, obviously this video will be out tomorrow as it is Thursday. So yeah, I'll see you. Actually, it could be out today. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Come on, you Spurs. And yeah, let's hope we win on Sunday.